Okay, YouTube, another long day in the shop. So how about a shot? So what I want to do today is compare the three main clippers that pretty much everybody chooses from, three main ones, and do a little comparison of valuable information because I've done hundreds of cuts with all three of these. So I can tell you how they work. So cheers, hope this helps, and picking one out and choosing which one to spend your money on. Okay, so main thing a lot of people concerned with is price. So the Wahl 5-star cordless senior goes for about 125 on the low end, 150, 160, about that. And this master cordless, talking about 200 to 250. BaBylissPro Force FX clipper. If you ask me, they got crazy names and too many different versions of this, of all of them. But this goes for about 160 to like 180, about that. So price wise, low, medium, high. Done. Runtime, I hate talking about runtime because these are always going back on the charger in between, switching between scissors and liners and razor blade for shave. So you should be able to do a haircut and shave in 30 minutes, and the runtime shouldn't even matter. But runtime, 80 minutes, 90 minutes, 120 minutes. Done. Speaking of runtime and charge, the one thing that I feel like all these clippers should come with, but only one does, is the damn charging base. Like I've always said before, going in between cuts, you want to be able to drop that in the charging base and let it charge. You don't want to go look for the cord that fell on the floor and untangle it and plug it back in, and oh, you have it the wrong way, you got to flip the cord around and plug it back in. You might as well have a corded clipper. And these clippers that are cordless come at a premium price, so just charge $20 extra and include the charging base. So the charging base only comes with the Andis Master. For these two, it's sold separately, which if you see my other videos, you definitely should buy them. It's essential. So moving on from the charging base, what else comes with it? With the Andis Cordless Master, other than oil and maybe a little brush, you're just getting the charging base and the cord to charge it. The senior, you get a couple of these premium clips, a comb, some oil, and the plug to charge it. The BaBylissPro, you get, the oil, the cord to charge it, and you get a whole clip set going up to like number 6. But these are the weaker clips. They're like, the hair is going to get caught up in between. See that? And it's going to yank it out of your client's head. And you might not even know why. They'll just be like, this guy sucks. So you'll wind up upgrading from that anyway. Same thing with this. You want to upgrade them from this. With this one, you'll buy those purple magnetic clips. With this one, you'll buy the premium guards, which I've reviewed in another video. So now, moving on from price, runtime, which one comes with a charging base, what type of clips you get with it, if you get any. Let's talk about the type of blade, because this is something that's overlooked, I feel like, by so many people, and you don't really realize the importance of it, and that's the fade blade. And the fade blade is this. You see how this is nice and flush to get under the hair, get really close and blend it out and do that fade? The Wahl Senior comes with the fade blade. BaBylissPro comes with the fade blade. The one that doesn't come with the fade blade is the Cordless Master. Now I have put the fade blade on it, but this is the blade it comes with. Now you see that? What are you getting underneath with this? Nothing. Nothing. And everybody uses this clipper for people with thicker hair, coarse hair, really thick, matted up, like pressed up against close to the scalp hair. So if this is I don't know, this is just an old clip that they still use, the old guard blade, whatever, and you're not going to get underneath it with this one, the standard clip that it comes with. I don't even want to call it, whatever you want to call it, the guard blade. And all these little ridges, the hair gets caught up and builds up in all these little ridges, and that's left on the client's head, and you're always combing, you know, brushing it off when you're fading, which makes you stray from this clipper, when this clipper has the best cutting ability out of all three of them. So I took this off and upgraded it to the fade blade. So that moves the cutting ability. Now, which one is going to cut through hair like butter? It's this one, baby. The Andis Master. Cordless Master. And with the fade blade underneath, oof. You see that cutting blade is getting real close to the scalp, and I'm blowing through hair like butter. Cutting ability, oh my God. This one, it's going to drag. You're going to hit patches. It's going to feel like the motor's dying, and you're just going to, it just doesn't do what the corded 5-star senior does. And there's a lot of barbers that use Wahl corded 5-star seniors, and I feel like if you try to switch to this, yeah, you use it for a little bit, but ultimately they dropped the ball on that, man. I'm sorry, they did. I used Wahl for so long, but they dropped the ball on that. Cutting ability of the BaBylissPro Force FX clipper is pretty good. It's still going to drag if you hit really thick hair. It's better than the senior, at least with my experience. It's better with the senior. But if I have somebody with really thick hair, you know, especially that you have to get through and it's harder to fade, you know, I'm not even touching this clip. I'm using the Cordless Master. So cutting ability, the Master is the best one, but you're going to have to get the fade blade and get rid of this 100-year-old design, the guard blade where the hair gets caked up and the ridges and everything like that. You're going to have to switch that, and this is like a $30 to get this fade blade, but whew, it cuts through it, baby. So since we're talking about cutting, let's talk about how they all sound. And I'll go back to this real quick, because the downfall of this is how damn loud it is. The only thing this is good for is as a customer you don't really want to talk to and you want to drown them out. This is your clipper to drown somebody out. This one, jeez, it's just so weak. It even sounds like it's dying, and even when it's charged up, it sounds like this. And I tried changing the battery and everything. I just can't get with it, but it's not as loud as the Cordless Master. The BaByliss is surprisingly, you know, when I first got it, it sounded like that. When I have it closed, it sounds a little bit louder now. But pretty much it's going to sound like this. It's going to be quiet. When you first use this clipper, I was really impressed. So if you want to talk about quietness, BaByliss was the most quiet. The Wahl, semi-quiet. This one, it's to the point where if you're talking to somebody, if somebody that you actually want to talk to, I should say, you're going to wind up switching your clipper to the other one. So since we're kind of on the same page, I'm going to talk about levers, because sometimes these get funky. The lever on this was pretty good. I didn't have a problem with it collapsing when cutting or anything like that. But sometimes that just depends on which clipper you get. But the lever on this was pretty good. And it took a minute to break in, but once I broke it in, it was flipping pretty easy. Same thing with the Cordless Master. Once I broke it in, it was flipping, but it's still tough. It still got some resistance, but this one is like a heavy duty clipper. This one is a little bit different. See, it has little ridges. So if you're getting super technical with your blend, you could do that. It's pretty much broken in off the bat, which I thought was really cool. The only problem that I've been having with this lately is after a lot of usage, when I'm cutting, it collapses. You see that? I didn't even press that hard, but you know, you're cutting against somebody's head, you put a little pressure on it, and it collapses on you. So that's one of the major cons that I'm starting to find with this as you get into a little bit using it for a long time. On the other side note, let's talk about grip and the ergonomics, if you will, of the clipper. Probably the best one I would say is the Wahl. You see, that's this for your thumb. See how it has the little ridges here, so it has like, it's made for like a good grip. Like, you're really not gonna drop this clipper. So that was one thing that I liked about this. And it was pretty small, and it was ease of use, very comfortable to use. This one got a little bit of weight, but it's not that heavy. But you see, there's no contouring to it. You just have like a steel brick, and when you're doing different things, holding it different ways, it can be slippery. So that's why I added this. This is one of the True Barber grips, and I added it so if I'm freehanding around, at least I have something to grip, and I'm not just, because this gets slippery. Add in disinfectant spray, oil, sweaty customer, everything, water. It gets slippery, so it could get slippery. I was worried about dropping that clipper when I first got it. Grips on this is pretty good. For this one, you could actually use this. People don't even realize that they do this, I think, sometimes, but you could use different parts of like little impressions in the clipper to use as like a grip. This whole diamond plate thing here, whatever you want to call it, is good for gripping. The only downside of this, is the size. You see the side, this is probably the smallest one, the Andis Master, and the most powerful. And you see how tall the BaBylissPro one is? What makes this bad is that if you're doing a taper on the back of, somebody's neck, this is like, if they have like no neck and just shoulders right there, it's like low clearance. So you're trying to blend and you keep hitting the dude's shoulders or something. So you got to come from like the side and stuff. That could be a little frustrating, but you don't come across that too much. Moving along, if you like to hang your clippers up, which I don't even know why this matters because you should have the charging base. This has a little hook. This has the hook built in. This one doesn't, but it comes with the charging base. So, a lot of information. If I had to pick an overall winner, which one I'm going to bring out, it's going to be the BaBylissPro, just because it's kind of quiet. With the premium clips is good. I like the flexibility. It's reliable. But with certain cuts, I cannot do with this. If somebody has really thick hair and everything like that, it takes too long with this. I'm digging the hair out for too long. I need to be able to get in there with a more powerful machine, one that's going to cut through the hair smoother with one pass and take a lot off. And so I won't have to sit there, trying to get under it from every single angle and wasting too much time, because time is money, as we all know. So it's hard to say. If I had to pick one, I guess, I take the BaBylissPro, but this is the one that I probably respect the most. It's an OG, old design. They haven't changed much, and they know how to get a lot of power out of it to make it work smoothly. So I'm interested to see what Andis does next, because I feel like they could really knock it out of the park with a crazy updated cordless clipper with the fade blade, a charging stand, better grips, lighter, quieter, premium guards. They're the only ones, I think, with the magnetic guards, which are great and never come off. So I think they have a lot of power to really, lock down the market and have an industry standard. Wahl, I don't know what they're doing. They had that other version, the red one. That lever was horrible. It's gonna make your thumb sore. I'm almost giving up on them. BaBylissPro, they're putting a lot of work in. They're putting a lot of work in, and they're dropping some nice product, man. So, use this information and make your choice. Like I said, this isn't something I didn't take these out of the box and do one cut and be like, oh my God, look at how it's hitting and passing through. This is hundreds of cuts, bro. So, let me know what you think, what you've experienced. I know there's some new clippers out. I want to get to those. I'm going to do a bunch of cuts with those and really, really see what they're made out of, because, you only really know something when you have it go through the test of time. So that's pretty much it. So for the next time, make sure, Like and subscribe because I have some cool stuff and I have useful information. This is coming from experience, you know. And till the next time, peace.